I pulled my old Yu-Gi-Oh collection out of the closet after almost 20 years to see if it's worth anything. Let's take a look. Okay, let's see what's in here. This is a little exciting because I know this is really old. Okay, a box that says Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and inside of it is a Kaiba starter deck, unlimited. Kaiba starter deck, unlimited. Some common cards, looks like. What is this? This is a Yu-Gi-Oh Gate Guardian figure in the box. Never opened. Box is a little bit bent, but okay. What else is in here? This looks like a starter deck Pegasus Unlimited, unopened. Most of these should have been opened because I opened most of these. This looks like a Game Boy Advance. What is this? The Eternal Duelist Soul. Okay, well, that had 3 limited cards inside. It's another Game Boy Advance Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Edition Stairway to the Destined Duel box. These boxes seem empty, I think. PlayStation game that's very dirty. Forbidden Memories, whatever this is. There's a game there. There doesn't look like there's any cards in there. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to organize because there's a bunch of stuff in here. Alright, a starter deck Pegasus first edition opened. Some cards. I'll have to see what's in there. Starter deck Joey first edition. Another starter deck Joey first edition. These were opened. A starter deck Pegasus first edition. A starter deck Joey Unlimited unopened. I'll put this with the Pegasus. Those two are unopened. A Yu-Gi-Oh binder. This is the Holy Grail. This has the LOB first edition complete set. And there's also some unlimited in here as well. I think that's probably worth something. What's this? Game Boy Dark Duel Stories. They say that might even be worth something, so who knows? Let's see. What else is in here? Oh, this is, what do I see here? I put cards in here, first edition rares and commons. All right, this was the starter deck Pegasus kit. It's like a little suitcase. It came with the starter deck Pegasus, a pack of sleeves, and not sure what else. Another one of these things. This says common first edition LOD and LOB. I have to hold on to these notes. This is a starter deck Joey. Same thing, one of these suitcase things that came with the starter deck and some sleeves. Looks like there's some videos in here. Yu-Gi-Oh! The Heart of the Cards, episode 1, 2, and 3. And this is Into the Hornet's Nest. This is volume 2, episode 4, 5, and 6. So apparently I got the first 6 episodes. Some rares. I'll have to take a look at those. PlayStation 2, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Duelist of the Roses. No cards in there, but the game's here. Okay, wow. Okay, so these were the sleeves that come with the, I think this was probably with Joey because that one's green. So these probably came with this thing. Pack of 50 Yu-Gi-Oh sleeves. And then I got these tins. So these tins, this one, Godfrey tin. This is the Buster Blader, the Yu-Gi-Oh Buster Blader tin. I don't even remember these things. What was this? Kaiba XYZ Dragon? Something like that. Joey, what is it? B-Skull Dragon? Collector's tin. Oh, a bunch of these collector's tins. Kaiba, Lord of D collector's tin. This looks like a Joey Jinzo collector's tin. Another Joey Jinzo collector tin. Summon Skull collector's tin. Wow, a lot of these collector's tins. And another Summon Skull collector's tin. Okay, and I have a whole bunch of these binders in addition to my LOB binder. And these Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. Here's a Kaiba one. These have a bunch of cards in them. I think that they are Metal Raiders, Magic Ruler, Pharaoh Servant, Pharaonic Guardian, maybe some Labyrinth of Nightmare. Some of those are in there too. I bought, like, I have some more of these things in here. I guess I just didn't put it. These Kaiba binders, 3 of these, not open. So that's it. That's it. Let me go through all of these cards because I think I organized the cards into different tins. And of course, then I have binders. I'm pretty sure that this was the starter deck Kaiba first edition, all put into a binder. Okay, so I took a lot of the shiny cards out and put them in sleeves and put them in card savers. I guess they're called foil cards. I've been doing some research on this. Those were the rare cards that seemed to be worth something. This was my binder. This is my starter deck Kaiba. So the blue eyes I took out, and I took out, I think there was a couple other cards in here that were more rare, and I'll go through that. So, and then I figured out, okay, so these cards aren't really worth as much unless they're authenticated and graded by like a grading company. So I ended up, after doing all my research, realizing that I thought I had stuff that was worth money, but maybe I have to do all this extra work to figure that out. So this is like, this binder looks like it has Metal Raiders, and I took all the first edition rares out of here. They're still unlimited because apparently the first editions are really the only ones that are worth much of anything. And I guess these unlimited twin-headed Thunder Dragon is not worth anything. I don't know. So maybe you guys can. I did have one of these Garnecia Elephantises in first edition, but this is the unlimited version, so it stays in here. Horn of Heaven is unlimited. This 7 Tools of the Bandit is not first edition. Shield and Sword. So I went through here and I guess I picked out all the ones that said first edition. This Heavy Storm is unlimited. This 1000 Dragon, which it's like really nifty looking. It's got this like, they call this one like a secret rare, and this one is not first edition. Otherwise, maybe this would have been worth something. I don't know. I'll have to look this one up. But yeah, I took all the first edition ones out of here so that I could go through them and put them in sleeves and put them in these card savers. I had to go and order all this stuff. This is a Beast of Talwar. Let's see if we can get that in there. I guess it's really hard to see in a binder, but it's unlimited. What is this? PSV? Pharaoh's Servant? UFO Turtle. Here's a Grave Robber. Giant Trinade. These are all unlimited. Magician of Faith again, unlimited. Horn of the Unicorn. Yeah, so they're just like these empty spots. I took these out because these were first edition rares. And I remember when I went to Toys R Us, literally, I did not go to any hobby shop or anything like that. This was just me going into Toys R Us. I read an article in 2002 saying this Yu-Gi-Oh game was coming out and it was going to be the biggest thing since Pokemon or however you pronounce it. So I thought, oh gee, well, you know, maybe that's something that's worth looking into. So when it came out, I was like, oh, it's a card game. Okay. It had a anime associated with it. So yeah, I just started buying some of the cards, but I wasn't really into trading card games. And so I went to Toys R Us and I just picked up stuff from there. And I remember figuring out maybe after I started buying this stuff that some of them were stamped first edition on the booster packs. Then like after something would come out, there would be some that were stamped first edition, and then as soon as those were gone, everything after that was just unlimited. Like everything in the store, you couldn't find any more of the first edition. So like I would buy stuff and think, okay, so I'm gonna buy, you know, the first set, Legend of Blue Eyes. I'll start collecting those because it's the first set. And so that's when I started working on this one. And I got really frustrated because I'd run around the different stores and I'd look, and so the Legend of Blue Eyes, they all came out and then they were switched from first edition. Then all I could find was unlimited. And so I had only some of the set, and I thought, well, I really should have the whole complete first edition Legend of Blue Eyes set, right? I probably won't be able to do that with anything else, but let me just do it for Legend of Blue Eyes. So I had some that these cards that I got myself that were first edition, but then I went on eBay and I just looked for Legend of Blue Eyes complete set, first edition. And I think this was, by this time, it was probably 2003, because it was like, I couldn't find these cards anymore. Even in the tins, like I was like, oh, there's more Legend of Blue Eyes in the tins, but they're all unlimited. There's no first edition. So I actually bought from like somebody on eBay, I bought a whole complete first edition LOB set for $500. But now I'm like looking at what these LOB first edition cards go for. I saw an article probably earlier this year talking about how during COVID, these cards got really popular and the values went up, and that's what made me decide, wait a minute, I have some of these Yu-Gi-Oh cards in the closet just sitting there. Let me go take a look at it. But I didn't really know anything about this, and when I pulled this out, I realized that a lot of these cards were not the best cards. Like I didn't know how to gauge the quality of these cards, but I could tell that some of the really valuable cards, like they were talking about, oh, if the card's off center, then it's not good. If it's got any like surface scratches or anything, it goes from like being worth maybe in 1,000 to maybe 100, or maybe even just, you know, $20. I don't know. So I went through here. I pulled all the first edition. I think I did all the first edition rares out. These are first edition Spirit of the Heart, but I don't know. Maybe I had more of those or something. I don't know. I put those in the card savers because I'm gonna end up sending them to the grading company, because apparently, you know, you can't just go on eBay and say like, oh, Metal Dragon, you know, first edition, let's just sell this. I mean, but yeah, this is a LOB card, first edition. I don't know why I left this one in here, but I looked at this and I'm like, oh crud, it has like, you know, something on it, like a corner or I don't know, something that makes it worthless. Apparently, I don't know, because these grading companies, they have like these magnifying glasses. They look at it really closely and they say, oh, this is a 1 or a 2, you know. I mean, these cards have never been anywhere other than in this binder. Like, seriously, they've never been played with. They've never, like, literally, especially the ones that I pulled out of the booster packs, I pulled them out and just put them in the thing in order. And then after the first edition, then it went back around to unlimited. So then these are unlimited, and so apparently these are not worth as much as the first edition, because everyone wants the first edition. So I don't know. I have some unlimiteds. These were ones that, because I was buying, these were still available, and then they were in the tins. Dragon Capture Jar, Dark Hole. I mean, it's hard to see these this way. Mystical Elf, you know, and I didn't complete the unlimited because I got so many duplicates, and then after a while, they weren't even selling these anymore. Polymerization, Mystical Elf. And so since they weren't really selling these anymore, I then was buying, holy cow, almost lost the camera. All right, I was buying these metal raiders that came out. Cursed Dragon, Giant Soldier of Stone. These were like really, I remember these cards. These were, a lot of these cards were in the anime, I remember. Here's a Metal Dragon again, and these are unlimited. I got like 3 of these Gaia the Dragon Champions, right? Of course, they're unlimited, so they're worthless, at least I guess that's what, so that's worthless? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so that's my LOB binder. This was all of my first edition and unlimited. So I pulled what I thought were the valuable cards out, and I put them in sleeves. I pulled out the cards from here and put them in sleeves, and I pulled some of these out and I put them in card savers. So I'll go through these if these can be easier to see. Okay, so I took more valuable cards that I could find, and I put them in these card savers in sleeves inside the card saver, because that's what you're supposed to do. So I'll go through these. These should be more of the rarer ones. So I've got Curse of Dragon, LOB first edition. This is Gaia the Fierce Knight, LOB first edition. I don't know how to tell if any of these are wavy or glossy or whatever they are, but I can't tell. Trap Hole, LOB first edition. Polymerization, LOB first edition. Mystical Elf, LOB first edition. Raigeki, LOB first edition. This is either Celtic Guardian or Celtic Guardian. I'm not sure which. Flame Swordsman, LOB First Edition. Love that art. This is like a cool card. Of course, this one's off to this side. It's really thin on this side and thicker on this side. Monster Reborn, LOB First Edition. Again, this one, I don't know. Is it centered? LOB First Edition, right arm. And I have another right arm. This one here, it looks like it has a foil line. I don't know. But it looks like it's got a foil line. It's the same brightness on both sides. I don't really know exactly what these types of error things are, but this one's a little different in that it has a little bit of a foil line. This one is the right leg. LOB First Edition. These are all like completely off center. Completely off center, so I don't know. You know. Apparently they're worthless because they're off center. Trihorn Dragon. This is one of the secret rares, LOB secret rares, First Edition. And then the other secret rare is Gaia, the Dragon Champion. Again, line's going this way, so it's not a reverse foil. First Edition. And there's the Dark Magician, LOB, First Edition. You know, I don't know. Is the card wavy or not? I don't know. It kind of sometimes looks a little wavy. So maybe some of these are wavy. I don't know. This is the Dark Magician First Edition from Starter Deck Yugi. So yeah, this Dark Magician has different art than this Dark Magician. This is the LOB First Edition Dark Magician. This is the Starter Deck Yugi. This Dark Magician is just chilling out, not doing much. He's just like planning something. This Dark Magician is like, holy cow, I am either attacking or defending. I don't know what I'm doing, but my hat's about to fall off, and yep, there you go. So then we've got this Change of Heart, which I think is Metal Raiders First Edition. These kind of got mixed up. This is Starter Deck Joey. So both of these are Starter Deck Joey First Editions. Red Eyes, Black Dragon. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this one looks off center and this one looks a little bit better, but still off center. So they are what, worthless? I don't know. Beast Skull Dragon from the tin with the that like secret rare. This is really cool. This is the Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon, but it's from Forbidden Memories, the promo from the video game. And this looks totally awesome. Like it's got probably the best, you know, looking hollow, whatever. But not worth anything, right? Supposedly. This is the DDS, I think it's DDS. Yeah, this is the DDS Exodia. Except if you look at it, look how much there is on this side and look how little there is on this side. So it is what they call off center, making this worthless, right? Worthless. Okay, so this is a nice looking card and it is minty condition, so it's got to be worth something. Injection Fairy Lily. This is a secret rare from what is that? LOD. Very nice. I think that's worth something. If it's not so off center that it's like a, you know, like a low grade. Time Wizard. So this was like Joey's card. This is really cool looking. All this dust that's on it. Is that dust? Yeah, so this is Time Wizard. What is this from? Metal Raiders? And then this is the SDK Blue Eyes White Dragon, but it's the unlimited. I already sent off the first edition version of this. I have a first edition and I have an unlimited. Okay, so those were kind of like the cards that I had from LOB and then sets, and then this is just to wrap it up. I'll go through these fairly quickly. These were from the promos from all these other video games and some other stuff, tins, and we'll see what's in here. So Exchange is a video game promo, Graceful Dice video game promo, Skull Dice video game promo. Cool looking cards. Harpy's Pet Dragon. It's hard to see these because the title reflects or doesn't reflect. Metalmorph. Not really worth much, but it's a cool looking card. I mean, this would be cool to have for people that can't get it anymore because they just don't. I don't know. I don't think they have these. Another Sayo. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Sayaru. Then there's these two Summon Skulls from the tins, the collector's tins. I have two of these. They're both regular. They're not reverse foil. So, because I don't know where all these reverse foils come from, and I haven't seen one. So not in my collection. I did see one little foil line, which was cool, but I don't really see a lot of other stuff. Maybe a couple of my cards are a little faded. This is the Blue Eyes White Dragon from the Shonen Jump magazine. It's a special promo, like the very first edition or something like that. I don't know. It's cool looking, so got that one. Harpy's Feather Duster. This actually video game promos. Acid Trap Hole. I thought this was DDS. Yeah, that's DDS, but it's from the second series. So this one's more common than the first set. Okay, then there's some other ones in here. So this is Dark Hole, first edition LOB. Is this or something? I don't know. Raigeki, LOB first edition. I must have had some of my LOBs weren't all together. Fisher, I don't know what's Fisher doing here. This is first edition LOB, but it's just a regular rare. I don't know, is that worth something? Another Cursed Dragon. This one is also first edition LOB. You know, oh look, that one has a foil line too. Oh cool. This is a Cursed Dragon first edition LOB with a foil line through it. That's kind of cool. Maneater Bug, first edition LOB. Okay. I guess these things go up for auction. I don't know. I mean, first edition. Lord of D. Which Lord of D is this? First edition. So this is from the starter deck. So not this same value as whichever set that one came from. And these two relinquished came from starter deck Pegasus. This was the I guess the ultra that was ultra rare that was in those, and I have two of those. What's this? And Air Knight Parshath. Okay, here's a tribute to the Dune first edition, MRD. And 1000 Dies Restrict. This is a cool one. First edition. So, all right, well, that's not all the cards I have, but I tried to grab all the ones that look like real valuable, and I threw them in sleeves and card savers and stuff like that so you could at least see them. Stay tuned for the next video I'll be making is the PSA return on the Blue Eyes White Dragons, the trifecta, the big three, the most valuable ones. The ones that they always have in the most valuable Yu-Gi-Oh cards articles that caused me to go back and grab my LOB binder and look around for what cards do I have. So stay tuned for those. Thanks a lot. See you again.